Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Adventure Alternative Cycling Network. Man, we have 1 week off, and it's like a hot mess already.
Back to the start.
I know. Okay, redo. No, I'm just joking. So we were back this week. We took a little bit of a break last week because internet in Canada. But we're back. And today, once again, I'm joined by my co-host. We've got Eric from Spin That and Mike and Michael from Locked In. Today we're going to talk about the new gravel or Canyon gravel e-bike with hover bars and all the things, as well as some other interesting product drops. But before we get going, let's do channel updates. Michael, you want to go first this time?
Yeah. So I made a quick video this week about Grinduro being canceled. I did sign up for it, and it is officially being postponed until next year. So I wanted to do like what did I call it? DIY Duro or Diduro. I don't know how I haven't formed the word altogether. Basically saying either doing kind of what's been like the popular trend of, do I do a solo ride? I've never done this with like the public. And so I mentioned to see if anyone would be interested that's in my area in Orange County, California, or would want to drive in, if they'd be interested in doing a socially distant and responsible gravel ride. It'd be something that I would basically put together. That would be the same stats that Grinduro was, which is 75 miles and 7,500 feet of climbing. So I have a route that's close to that I would modify. So I just basically wanted to see the gauge of that. A lot of people got a lot of positive response. I did piss off one guy who like went on the whole like mask thing, and I was like, dude, and literally wrote like a 3-paragraph thing about it, and like I need to go to a restaurant and ask them to pay me $30,000 to put a mask on. It was a whole thing I don't want to get into, but wow. That was it was a lot, but positive feedback. So it might be something that I might be setting up the same day. And then I also mentioned that like anybody who wants to do it that day or do a similar stat ride to like tag me, and we can do like a communal thing. So I said that I'd basically making update videos about, depending on what the state of COVID is in California at the time, what's allowed. That may or may not change. Either way, I'd make a video out of it. But that's something that I've been trying to ride and loosely train for. So it's something that like I'm not. Yeah. Go ahead.
Is Grinduro the official event? Are they doing any kind of like official virtual component that you know of, or is it just
not that I know? They basically just offered a refund, or you could donate your $200 entry fee into COVID relief or a couple other foundations that they had listed. So you got to pick what you want to do with the money, or you could roll it into next year. So which I thought was cool, because a lot of events, like I mentioned in the video, is like usually the money's spent at that point. Like usually like at this late in the game, when it's in September, it's not that far away. Sponsors have paid for whatever, they've bought the space or paid for the land or, anything like that. So I was like, I signed up thinking like, I don't know if it's going to happen, but they gave you that kind of peace of mind that, hey, right now, especially with people who may or may not be working, having the refundability if you needed it was nice, for something that you had no idea if it was going to happen.
Right.
So
I'm curious, like, I think the Tour de France is it still scheduled to loosely happen? Or...
Yeah, that's what the last thing I heard about it, they're supposed to still be, I don't know if they're not doing all the, like, obviously the stages from what I've heard, but it's just like they're doing some races. But yeah.
It's become the World Championship Spin Class Championship.
That's it. Yeah. It's exactly
who is the best exerciser.
Yeah. Hopefully it just doesn't end up like NASCAR or F1 with all their shenanigans they got going on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. What's been going on Spine Dat, Eric?
This is not spelled any different. There's just capital letters. Right? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's like it's old AOL his username. Yeah.
Angela and I went for a bike ride. I videoed it. We were away. We were away for like 5 days, so I couldn't really do anything. And then And then we, what did I make? Someone had asked through like an Instagram message, like, can you do a video on like the things you buy? Like, why do you decide to buy the things you buy? And my answer was like, well, I just buy whatever's cheap or free. He's like, yeah, that's kind of why I want you to make a video. Like, yeah, okay, like sure. And like I wanted to like pick a like when I started shooting it, the idea was like, okay, specific examples of stuff I would buy. And like I went down through that exercise for like a second, and I'm like, I couldn't say that I'd buy any of this stuff. Like, you know, it would have to be like it'd have to be detrimental. I'd have to need something, like I'd need to have new shoes for me to actually go out and buy something. So that decision would only happen on such a whim, and it would be something super on sale that somewhat fits. And I think I conveyed that in that video, not bad. Anyway, yeah, I felt I didn't get to make as much content this week as I normally would, but it was cool to be away and not thinking of anything YouTube or work related for 5 days as well.
It's weird, right?
Sounds like a vacation.
It was a vacation. There was no Wi-Fi. That literally ACN last week was canceled because of me, and I will take it.
Also, okay, so everyone, because Eric like didn't have any Wi-Fi, I think everyone has to drink for that. He didn't lag, but like finish your current drink.
The whole show.
He lagged the whole show, so finish whatever you have, and then make another one, and then we'll start again. Yeah,
right. Yeah, I'm always torn about. I know those videos do well, where it's like, I bought the cheapest X on Amazon.
Mm-hmm. I may or may not have some of that coming, but yeah. I might need some pannier bags for a video. So yeah.
I've been curious. I have been curious about like the cheapest bike packing bags that you could buy on Amazon, if they're any good or if they're just like
I've done it.
I
had the Roz wheel.
The Ross wheels? Okay.
Yeah, I had theirs. I did a video on just the whole thing. I just literally like held each bag up because there's so much, and I wanted to make one video. They work. It's just there's a lot of like. So here's the thing. It's like liking good whiskey or wine. Like once you've had something decent, you can't go back. So it's like, oh, why don't the straps on the handlebar bag harness, like why can't I put them anywhere I want? There's a bunch of loops, but they're all sewn tight, so you can't put anything through it. It's like, okay, well, you have a Garmin mount or a bell or whatever, like next to your stem. Well, those can't be there anymore. Okay, well, where do I put, so it's little things like that you'll notice. Yeah. Like, does it work? Yes. Does it hold stuff? Totally. But like having nice things is Cadillac. All these like nice things you're used to are just like, oh no, why can't I just put the straps? Like I just want them literally 1 inch like to the next loop, but they're all so but there's a few things that are great. Like I still use my Roswell seat bag. Like it's the 9 liter. It works. It doesn't sway a lot. Like, and they have this like little half frame bag that I'll use periodically too. So there are, even in my video, I say like, buy this if you're going to buy it. Don't buy this. And these are the caveats. But honestly, like for someone getting into it, I think my total was $150 for
that's good.
Frame for like it's like a quarter frame bag. You can like extend the bottom, which is cool. Handlebar bag, seat bag, and a top two bag.
Yeah.
I mean, to do it, I mean, you can't carry as much as certain bags if you were doing a full frame bag or whatever. But now there's so much more stuff than there was even when I did that video.
Sure.
That looks, decent.
I guess maybe I should have done a better job of being like I still don't. I wouldn't go out of your way to buy the cheapest stuff. I just
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope that didn't like. Maybe it did in this conversation, but like, when it comes to like shoes or helmets or stuff like that, like I just feel weird paying full price for any of that stuff.
I feel like there's definitely like this magical intersection between right where it's like that point of diminishing returns where you could spend more money, but then the gains would be so incremental.
Yeah, it goes like way more money, and the quality really doesn't.
Yeah,
I always tell people anything contact point wise, spend the money. If you're going to spend money, like your shorts or your chamois, your shoes, and your helmet. If any of those suck or hurt, you're not going to enjoy it. Like those are always like, do you need like the best jersey? No, you can wear a t-shirt, but like a good chamois is worth the difference, you know. And there's always cutoffs, and that's what I'm working on too. Is like I have some Amazon bibs from this company, and they're not bad. Like under 50 miles, they're pretty good. Like but the 50-mile mark, they're like questionable. But like before that, 100%.
Speaking of shoes, let me grab something real quick. I gotta show you guys.
We got product placement. Watch out, guys.
It's power meter. It's power meter for sure.
Oh, there it is. Also, Eric, did you see I saw a comment. Somebody said they got wasted because you're lagging the last time we did this. It was great.
I haven't. Well, I don't think I have yet, though, right?
No, you haven't yet. No, he was saying that. I think the previous week. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well,
you're welcome.
You're welcome. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to.
Okay, so two things. One thing on brand and one thing off brand. I'll start with the off brand thing first. But I got road shoes.
Hey,
wow.
Clicky shoes. So
on those.
As little as I could. This is the cheapest road shoe I could find at REI, and I bought this because I want to use the power meter and just do a bunch of videos. So I've got pedals or flat pedal converters, and I want to compare it with road shoes. And so that's the off-brand thing. This is the on-brand thing, which I think you guys will blow your minds. But
they're
man.
Super long. Yeah.
Have you seen these? I mean, these are like the size of my head.
Wow. Super big.
Yeah. They're ginormous. I mean, that's not perspective. That's just they're that big.
There's a couple guys who mountain bike locally around here who have those, and I guess it is a huge difference maker for like how good it does feel on your foot once you get used to it. But like not having your foot go like this over a pedal because there's so much platform to actually put your foot onto. I think it makes sense.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting is like there's this whole like postcard kind of explaining the pedaling system. Like he wants you, because when you set up most pedals, like the ball of your foot's like near the spindle, he wants your arch over the top, and that requires kind of a seat change, like a little bit lower, a little bit more forward.
Wow.
So I think I'm going to try it his way for 2 weeks on one of the bikes, and then try it how I would normally set up my pedals and see if there's any kind of pedaling efficiency change.
So did you buy those, or were they sent to you?
These are reviews. These are review samples.
5 stars. Thanks so much.
I'd assume that would be great in your normal shoes and not needing, like, I think the benefit to that, which I don't know if you're testing or not, is your standard tennis shoe to like a 510 in that, if it's going to, because like to me, that's what like first came to my mind is like, oh, I could ride that in whatever, and they're going to feel great.
So you know what I've been riding with in for the last 2 weeks nonstop, like mountain bike rides, and
I bet.
Oh, the Crocs! Oh God, yeah,
it's so good. It's so good. It's like it massages my feet every time I pedal.
Are those gravel specific Crocs, or what are we talking?
They
here?
are.
Like,
They've got stickers on them. Yeah. All right.
But wait, do you ride them locked? What is it? Full locked? I don't know what the Croc terminology is with the thing.
With I don't know what the roll bar or something.
The strap,
the roll bar.
Somebody in the comments, please. What is it? Fully locked or something? I don't know. Anyway, sorry. Yeah.
I do actually, and it makes a difference. Okay. So let me. I guess I should talk about what's on Pathless Pedaled. What do? We posted a trip. We went out to Idaho recently on the Trail of the Quarter Lane. So did kind of a day trip out there. It's actually part of a little bit longer road trip to go to the nearest Trader Joe's, which is in Spokane. But so we decided to camp along the way and ride that. Yesterday we had a foiled unboxing with Crest Bikes. The bike did not arrive in time, but I think it turned out for the best because we had Matt, Cheech, and Garrett. They gave us a tour of Crust HQ, and we had what's his name, Stephen Crandall, stop by,
Crandall.
drop off some coffee. So that's kind of a fun like Mr. Rogers moment. And What
Hi,
else?
here's some coffee.
Yeah. I think 2 weeks ago was that when we were joking about gravel specific, and I had mentioned about starting a faux bike brand.
I think
Yeah,
that
if
was
it
awesome.
wasn't,
Yeah.
if it wasn't then, it was the week before. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So I got stickers made and put them on our big cartel site, and they sold out in like 3 days, which is like bonkers.
It's wild how quick you became a millionaire. It's just crazy.
Right,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
Just that sticker money. It's way better than the stock market, folks.
Oh, much,
True. True.
much more predictable.
Right. Cool. So I think that's it for action mode. So Richard here says a friend of mine always called that action mode on his Crocs. Nice. I like that.
Fully chilled. Rob Berry, fully chilled. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Nice.
imagine just being on a trail somewhere and someone's like, "All right, just a second," pulls off his Crocs and it's like,
Right.
Yeah.
full action mode.
Getting serious.
Full action.
Yeah,
That's for the
like,
downhill.
what's he gonna try?
Yeah.
What's
Oh
he gonna
man.
try?
Do they make
Well, it's
SPD Crocs yet?
I think
Bicycle pubes.
Cubes is trying.
I think-
yeah,
he tried.
he's hard. Like he is hard on it with Crocs. Big talks. So-
I mean,
I'm down.
You know,
I'm down for that.
I'm just saying, like the first communal review should be the SPD Crocs.
yeah.
I was actually
Um,
I was toying around with the idea. Like I kid you not, I love how it feels to pedal in Crocs during the summer. I was gonna go to the local cobbler and see if he would glue on some Vibram soles, just so like the pedals wouldn't eat them away as quickly and they have a little bit more grip. So I may still do that. So we'll see. If you guys want to see Vibram sole Crocs, let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Give this video a
just
thumbs up.
throw it in there. Yeah. Subscribe. Make sure the bell is on.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Okay, so let's move on to reader bikes or reader rigs. What are we calling this section? Basically, your bikes.
Yeah, nobody's reading, so viewer would
You're
probably
right.
be the
That's
best.
true.
Oh,
Oh,
man,
it's a small bike again
It is. I know.
for funsies.
That's a slack. That's the slackest thing I've seen in a long time. Is that the Shemi Hagar? What is this like?
Yes, it's a. Those are actually 36 inches. This is just a really big bike.
The guy is 12 feet tall. What
It's a Shaq's bike?
size
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a 65. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the frame is, how do you pronounce that? Is that Gios or Gios? I don't know my
Gios.
Gios.
Lord knows.
Yeah.
mini
Gios.
bellow. I'm sure someone will let us know. Here's my weird bike build: Simwork stem and tires, Potter 20-inch by 1.125-inch tires, full Dura-Ace 7800
Oh, he's got
groups.
full Jirachi. Okay, all right.
And Gavinal shifters. So that's kind of cool. It's definitely a weird bike, I would say. And look
How
at
does-
Weird.
How does he take the
bag?
How does he take
What's
the water bottle out? It is like touching the top tube.
It's probably side exit.
No,
You kind of push it forward.
Just
You'd
I
rip
push it
it
forward.
out.
Okay, all right, all right. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You just rip it out.
Yeah.
Okay, can we like can whoever submitted this? Can you please like have a picture of you riding this? I just need it for scale. Like I need a picture of this in motion.
Yeah, I know. After we talked about that curved 36-incher bikes, it just puts all the other bikes like in weird perspective.
Yeah.
All right, next bike. This is by Dark Freeze. It's a 2020 All City Super Pro with NX Eagle, Terraville, Rutland, 2.1, 27.5-inch tires, walled basket, Surly 8-pack rack, Swift Camp and Go Slow bottle bag, Swift Sugarloaf, tumbleweed persuader bars. So that's our friend Daniel Malloy there. His custom bars, 800 millimeters wide, Brooks
Whoa.
C17, and a KS Lev dropper post, cone to pedal, stock wheel set, and brakes.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
pretty
it's
sweet.
cool. It's just a cool bike.
Yeah.
A cool bike I would ride.
Yeah, I've been really curious about those bars because they're wide, but they do have a little bit of a sweep to them, which I
Is
kinda
that
like.
So
is
they-
that measured? Is that measured like if you measure the curve? Is that the 800 or is it like end to end is 800?
I think it's end to end.
Okay.
So
Wow. That's
So wide.
that's a
That's
big old
some
bar.
wingspan there, right? Yeah.
Eric, Eric, what do you ride on your mountain bikes?
I think they're like 780. So,
Okay.
and like my bars are wide. Like,
Yeah.
you know, there's the amount of trees I punch just from being like kind of a, you know, okay marginal mountain biker.
Yeah.
I can only imagine 800s. Like I'd probably cut an 800 down to 780.
They must make handlebar like gauntlets, right? So you can punch
they do.
cactuses and
yeah.
stuff
I think it was. I don't know if it was a Kickstarter, but I have seen that where it's like it's basically it looks like a bar end, but it like cuts in to give you like an aluminum, like almost like a brass knuckle
Like
kind of thing.
Okay, like a dirt, almost like what dirt bikes have, just without the plastic, I guess.
Right.
I mean, I'd prefer punch the tree because, like, usually when I'm approaching a tree and I'm gonna end up punching it, which is like, it's just a funny way to put it, but like, you tend to be slowing down enough at that point, and like, most of the times that it's happened to me, other than the times that there's like a little tiny piece of a branch sticking out. It is almost always comical when you're like, awesome. That was awesome the way that happened.
Mountain biking is so much fun.
It is. My mountain bike crashes haven't been nearly as bad as my road bike crashes. So, you know, and I'd love to blame the bars, but
well, I mean, you have something.
It's not just them.
All right.
The person holding them, yeah.
All right. So the next bike, I think this person might actually be in the chat, and this is from our very loyal viewer Dawn.
Oh, Dawn's always Dawn's always in here. Yeah.
Peace, love, and rescue. It's her Horse Force 1. Nothing super extraordinary here, she says, but it's a stock All City Space Horse built up in a 43 centimeter frame. 43. That's pretty tiny. However,
is it 650B wheels then?
I think it must.
Doesn't look.
It doesn't. Well, it looks like
look
skinny.
awkwardly like small.
Yeah. If you didn't know it was 650B, you could pass this off as that curved 36-incher bike.
True.
Easily.
Dawn is actually she's not she's not a 43. She's a 63. Yeah. Oh yeah, she said 650B.
Yeah. And you can almost you can tell because the rack is just like
all over. Yeah. What's Dawn? What's the tire size that you have on those rims? Because it looks like I know 650 like smaller than a 47 is tough to find.
Yeah.
But it looks like a road tire. But I love the paint scheme.
I always like I'm just a regular height person, so like 54 56s, those are always the size bikes that you see product photos of, but I've always liked like Mark Cavendish, like the way his bikes looked. I always liked like really small bikes with like lower seat posts and like still obviously a slam stem, but like I find that proportion looks better than like really big bikes. Like 61s are the worst looking bikes of all time. Anything above that is like, oh my gosh, maybe just don't even.
I
don't want to tell anyone not to ride a bike, but I mean, gosh, there's gotta be something we can do to
get a one wheel. Get a one wheel.
Get a penny farthing or whatever.
I've always liked small bikes. I like small bikes.
Don says those are 38s. I've never 650 by 38. Who makes that?
Are those Perimotos? Or I don't. I wish I could zoom in, but I'm using Keynote here and I can't.
Come on, enhance.
Right, I know.
Don't have the CSI
money.
That's right. Yeah.
Money. Yeah. I think the All City, they've really knocked it out of the park with the Space Horse and Cosmic Stallion. It's like a good looking bike. I think it's a road bike, a road style bike that works for a lot of people. I used to have the first generation All City Canty, and it's creamsicle orange, which I liked a lot. So,
do you still have that bike? Do you actually do you sell bikes? Do you get rid of them?
Yeah, I've been doing a purge. I've been trying to, ride fewer bikes more often rather than having many bikes and only riding them like twice a month because there's such a heavy rotation.
Yeah.
So I've actually sold probably 4 or 5 bikes in the last year.
That's so weird.
But that reminds me, like we were talking about bike size. Whenever I, try to get a review bike, it's usually a special order.
Right.
It's for a smaller size frame. Like it seems like the typical model size that they'll have for reviews, like a 54 or 56.
Yeah.
And I can fit some 54s unless they're like really long, but it all depends. So
I guess I'd say I'm lucky that way, and there's so many review bikes available to me, but they're not showing up to my house.
But I was gonna say, Eric, they haven't shown up yet. Yeah. For me either. I can ride a 56, no big deal. Anyone who's watching, hi. I got space for one of them at least. Yeah.
All right, I'm not heartbroken. I'm okay.
Yeah. So we're at the 25-minute mark. If you guys are still with us, please give the video a thumbs up. If you guys have any questions while we're talking, feel free to shoot them out. We'll always pop up things.
I did see one earlier. It was somebody asked me a question about bike. Oh yeah. Looks like Obi-Wan. Question for Michael. Going from a racy road bike to a more upright, bike packing bike. So saddle width. If anybody doesn't know, I do have I'm certified body geometry bike fitter. Saddle width is actually doesn't matter if you're doing a race bike, upright, touring, your commuter, hybrid, whatever. Your saddle width is actually dictated by your sit bone width. So you want to go get that measured. I'm a big fan of specialized saddles. Those are I ride a Specialized Power 155. That's my go-to. It's been on every bike, and that's been on my racy road bikes I used to have. It's been on my gravel bikes. It's literally been on my straight bar, like lock-up commuter that's outside. That's rusty. It's that width doesn't matter. Shape, same thing. You might adjust the angle of the saddle. So on a bike that's more aggressive, I typically have the nose a little flatter so that the scoop of the back of the saddle, I have something to kind of push against when I'm in the drops and kind of pushing against it. But on something that's a little more upright, I might kind of tilt that up a little bit. So I'm kind of almost sitting in the crevice of it a little bit more. But the saddle width will not. Yeah, the crotch. There you go, the crotch canyon. But the saddle width does not change. My birthing hips are the same width no matter what bike I am on, and that's why, like I said, I ride the same saddle. So I would highly suggest anybody go to a shop that has either sells a brand that offers multiple widths. I'm not a huge fan of Physique. That's just me, because they size their saddles based on body position, but your sit bone width is your sit bone width. So there are a handful of brands, Selle Italia, Specialized, and a few others that do make the same model in different widths based on your measurement. So it's worth going to your local shop to go get your sit bones measured and then get a saddle that's typically on average 5 to 10 centimeters or so wider than your sit bone width, because you want to be supported by the seat. If you buy a seat that's exact same width, you're essentially sitting on the edges, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on your soft tissue and cut off blood flow, cause numbness, things like that.
So what do you ride, Mike? A 155 or a
155 power? Yeah.
I have 155. I always ride a 143, and I have a 155 power that came with that LA Sprint that I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Excuse me. I can't handle it. I don't like it.
It's too wide.
It's way too wide. Like so wide that it cuts off the circulation to I think it's my right leg, and I'm just like, wow, I'm going to die here now.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk later. I'll probably buy it and have you ship it to me. I have like 8 of them, but I always need more. It's fine.
Yeah. It's on its way. It's going to be $800 to ship it.
That's it. Well, 800 Canadian's not bad. If it's 800 US, then that's no problem.
Yeah, I have the power, which I like, and also I've been digging the ergon saddles a lot. I actually have them on 3 of my bikes right now because I like them so much. It's if you like the power, I think the ergon's like kind of a nice lateral move.
Which one do you have?
I've got both the mountain and the road version and the MSC something. They're all great. I like them.
What width do you ride? 143?
Typically, on the power, I have a 150 something. Is it just 155 or do they make it 150?
That's it. Yeah, that's 155.
Yeah. I mean, like when I started riding bikes, I came from a Brooks B17, which is pretty typically wide. So I was kind of accustomed to that. Although I do like the Physique Aliante and 143,
I like that
145.
saddle.
Can't do it.
Yeah.
I know you had said that in our first live stream. You're like, man, I hate that saddle. And I always
No,
remember
it's
that.
it was like it's literally just like the taint puncher. That's what I call it. Like I just can't. Like 10 minutes and I'm out.
I think I think it's the best looking saddle you can get. And
it looks good. Granted,
it's
I'll
the
give
most
it that. It does look.
And like on my Crux, every time I look at it, I'm like, oh my god, I want another one of these. And then I look up how much they are.
Yeah.
And I'm like, $200. Like, because I bought that frame set for 500 Canadian, so like 6 cents, and it came with the seat post and that saddle. And I was like, well, if Buddy gave me that saddle, like it must be cheap, because I had never, like, I always worked in a specialized shop, so I always rode specialized saddles. I never rode anything else. And like, I didn't look into it until I finally finished that bike and rode it, and I was like, oh, this is good. I like the way it looks. Yeah, that's always number one. But then two, like if it rides decent, geez, looks good in pictures and rides good. Yeah. Oh man,
you guys ever ride the specialized toupee or taupe?
Yeah.
Did you like that or?
I didn't hate it.
I didn't have the official. I didn't have the official one, but this is like way back in the day. I had the legit like Chinese full carbon knockoff that I rode for like a year on my old Focus road bike. And granted, I was a more svelte man at that time. But like I rode it for a bit because it was like, oh man, this is 80 grams. Hell yeah. Like, I was like, I'll just buy good bibs. It's fine. Like, and my bike was like, like 14.7 or something with pedals and cages or something like that. It was an old Focus Zalco. And I just remember it's like, I used to like it. And then like, things happen. And then I was like, I'd like some padding back, please. Yeah. But yeah, I rode it for a little bit.
I had the toupee, the full carbon toupee with just like the little bit of fabric, just basically glued onto it. I had that on my old
the Whisper.
Felt. Yeah. I had it on my my felt cross country bike, and I raced a year and a half on it. And I'm not a heavy guy, but I still broke it. Like, I hit a bump. I'm heavy for a cyclist. I'm 180 to 190 pounds on any day, but like it broke. Like it went like the carbon rail went, and I was like, like I have to leave this trail and this race right now. I'm done. This race is done.
He's still till this day digging out some toupee, from himself. Like, so
carbon shards and like
there's still shards in there. Yeah.
That was not because it's not quiet either when it happens. Like everyone, that? That was this like.
Was that your rim? Like, that was my saddle.
No,
oh my god,
saddle. So like, what do you mean saddle? And I'm like, you'll see later.
Too many watts.
Too many watts. Always. Yeah.
All right. So speaking of watts, let's talk about what we're going to talk about. First big thing.
Look at that segue. I
know. This is why we get paid the big bucks, folks.
That's right.
Why we get paid the big bucks. One of the new drops this week was a gravel bike from the brand Canyon, the Canyon Grail on. They really have to hire Canyon. You really have to hire like a better copywriter. That's like the best name you could come up with is a Grail on. That's it's got Eric's favorite handlebars.
Yeah, I'm getting some.
I'm surprised they didn't do it. I'm surprised they didn't do a triple for the e-bike. I just figured they'd want like the extra level. So
that's true. So the 3 times the suppleness.
Do you guys know? Are you guys familiar with the movie Cars at all?
Yes.
Is that the cartoon one?
Yes. There's like a car in it that has a spoiler on it that looks so much like the hover bar that anyway. Like every time I see it, I'm like, that bike is that car, living car from that movie.
What's unique about this? It uses the Bosch mountain bike motor and got a big ass battery. And but still pretty, I think, on the tuck-ish end, at least for the smaller sizes, a little bit longer in the larger sizes. And what else do we have here? I think one interesting thing is, in this article, they were talking to the owner. According to Gebel, a flexible seat post is far more important than the ability to raise and lower the post. And I don't know if I agree with that now after having had a chance to really ride a dropper post. And I think, they've made it taller, shortened the reach. So I'm assuming they're managing a rider that's not super flexible. You'd think a dropper post would actually make more sense for this build than this leaf spring thing here.
Yeah, I think that's the pave. I think is what they call it. Seatpost, the split one. They did increase the wheelbase a little bit, and they increased the chainstay length to make it more stable because they assume you're going faster because it's an e-bike, and they increased the tire clearance to 50. A 50C is what it comes stock with, which makes sense. But no, I agree, because the thing is, you're getting more rowdy on this thing. Everything's that much faster. You're descending that much faster. Potentially, if you're pedaling, you're climbing that much faster. You need that thing out of the way because,
But are the people? Sorry, I think we're thinking about this like we're riding it, but we are not.
No, but that's the thing. No,
who are buying this bike, riding this bike like that?
Well, no, but that's the thing. Even that's what I'm talking about, the unexperienced. Because I'm not a mountain biker. I am terrible at technical ascents or descents or whatever. It doesn't matter. I can ride flat okay. So it's just, but if this is going to ramp everything up, it's a sensory overload. Depending on if you get this thing in turbo and you're trying to go up a chunky technical climb, and you're new to this, everything is that much faster. You are now, if you were going to pedal a normal bike and you're a novice, or me, or both, and you're going up, you have that time because you're figuring it out because you're dying trying to navigate this trail, to where now I'm cutting that time in half, going up that, and now I'm going up at the pace of a experienced rider with novice handling.
Mm-hmm. But look
that's
at the
where
path. Look at where they decided to take these photos.
Well, yeah.
Is the rich guy who's gonna buy this bike gonna go on choppy, beat up?
It's a dentist bike, is what you're saying.
I didn't say it. You did, but I could still be the likable one here.
Right, Canyon will still ship me and Eric a bike. Yes.
But is the person who's actually going to ride this, our immediate thought, I think, Mike, you and me, is mountain bike trails. You're going to take this gravel bike on somewhat of a mountain bike trail. That's where my mind goes. But I don't think. I think this is going to go that. That picture is the that's where that bike's going to be. It's an e-bike that has a big tire that's comfy on gravel, gravel paths, pea stone, no stones, yay big,
small human size,
around.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say.
Also too, there's two things I'm going to mention now that no one's addressed in any of the reviews I've seen for this, because Lord knows Canyon hasn't. Ours are on the way, guys. Don't worry. But they're not yet. They're not here yet. They're stuck in the mail somewhere. One is the rear cassette for the top shelf one, the ETAP one that you showed, is it's a 1036.
What?
Which it's a 30. Look at it. It's a 30. It's a force access wide. That's not a 40. That's an access force derailleur that maxes at a 36. So I get it because you have more watts and you have more torque, but also if you look at any e-bike, most of them do a 8-speed or a 9-speed drivetrain with a bigger range because you have the torque to compensate for the gear gap, and also you have a stronger chain because you're throwing potentially. This is, I think, 85 newton meters of torque, which is roughly, I want to say, 650 watts. Roughly. That's a lot of power to put through a chain for hours on end. You know what I mean? I know all of us can do that, no big deal, but
I do it. I'm doing it right now.
Well, yeah, I'm doing it right now. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, but then also is the mount for the Bosch Changer. For me, when I've ridden an e-bike, I'm constantly changing the power mode to eke out mileage, like you know, and it's like this, like it looks like a molded piece to go to around the hover bar, and then to like a round generic piece to put the Bosch unit over it. But no one's talked about, can you reach that with your thumb from the hook in the bottom hover layer bar?
I think you have
The
to
basement.
stick your hand,
The
you
hover
have to
basement.
stick your hand in between the I don't know what you would call that, the
The hover
gap.
basement. The hover, the hover
gap.
basement. Yeah,
The void.
the void.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting point. Like I mean, I don't know, that bar just makes me cry on the inside.
I'm
But-
gonna tell you what. I'm gonna build like all the things that we all say we hate.
Right.
I'm gonna build the bike out of all those components.
So if you can put a hover bar on your rock hopper, that would be fantastic.
You hate
With a
my
left
rock
fork.
hopper?
No, I'm just saying is put the bar on there. Like I just all I want to see.
No, I want it to be like every part we've ever said we hated. I want to put on a bike, and this will be the bar that's on it.
It's you just want the clickbait title of the most hated bike on the internet? Is that yeah? Oh yeah.
Think of the 8,000 views that video
Yeah.
would get.
could retire off of that.
The fork's backwards. It's got a hover bar on it. It's like a Walmart thruster single speed. It's like, but with like a 8-speed drivetrain, 26-inch. The list goes
front,
on. Yes.
Brake rear.
Yep. Through axle
Triple.
front. Yeah.
got a triple with
a quadruple. You just
with
weld
a-
on a chainring with a piece of seat post. Like yeah.
There you go.
With a spin on with a freewheel, not a cassette hub wheel.
There we go. Yeah.
So, Canyon, riding the trend, multiple trends here. I mean, I guess it's, wouldn't be a bike I would buy. I mean, I can imagine, people. Someone will buy this.
Yeah.
And it might make sense, like you were saying, as just like a gravel path, bike for, let's say, someone that's older, not as fit, getting into it, has lots of money,
dentist or whatever,
right? Or other related, other related six-figure career path.
Yeah.
Like I
Lots of free
get,
time.
I get it. I totally get the e-bike thing, and I'm not poo-pooing that. It just for gravel, like an e-mountain bike, like I was telling you guys, like it soaks everything up. So if you hit it fast, like it's comfortable. Like you're going there faster. This is like you still have to like know what you're doing. Like you got to be. It's fully rigid or whatever. Like the Cannondale Lefty e-bike, that with the suspension makes to me a little more sense. Right. Because it does like you're going to be hitting ascents or descents faster, and that's going to smooth everything out again, especially if you are newer to this style of riding. That's just a safety net to not crash, basically.
But I still don't think. I think more people are going to get way more hurt on single track that they've never ridden with an e-mountain bike than anyone who buys that. I love pointing. Where you guys
look at the screen. Look at the screen. Yeah,
I mean, this could be like the case of like the SUV where people buy this big kind of burly thing, but barely sees the dirt. It could just
yeah.
So I think
I want like big wheels and small tires on my SUV because I don't really need the big tire. But this is the opposite. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe what I will say is if you're looking at like a gravel e-bike, the one to buy is the Focus, not this one.
Why is that?
It's a better looking bike.
Boom! All right. Sales advice from Eric. All right, there it is.
Just is.
I mean, it's not. I think I could forgive the looks if it weren't for the handlebar. It's just I don't know.
I like their this looks like their flat bar commuter, which I think looks really sleek because it's got that integrated stem piece, but instead of the double decker, it's just like a straight bar at the bottom.
I
think that thing looks rad. I'm all about that. That thing is dope. I think that looks super cool. But I mean, with
the Bosch, like the way the Bosch thing is attached on this, if it's a little more annoying to swap the bar and stem on this.
Ooh.
Because like if that's going to be the thing that people are so let's be honest, nobody's actually worked up about it other than us. The people who like it are going to buy it.
Yeah.
And like if you were thinking about it, you know, the bar itself is not going to be the only the thing that stops you. You're like, I love everything else about this, but that bar, as terrible as it is, it's like, you know, it's not going to be the thing that stops you. But I would be curious, like as tinkerers ourselves, you know, like how annoying
can Russ put a bar on shifter on that thing? Yeah, that's what I want.
Correct. To know.
Yeah.
I know it's got red axle. I'm looking to get a cable on there.
I mean, I think between the e-gravel bike and the e-road bike, if I were to buy one, I'd definitely get the gravel version just for the bigger tire clearance.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. I would too. Just I would buy the Focus.
Can we? Okay, now what? All right, yeah.
Can we bring that up?
I was going to say, can we?
Focus Project Y, I believe.
See, guys, this is actually live. This is not scripted. This is how we do things.
Y?
On Adventure Cycling Network, apparently. That's what it is.
Sorry. Sorry. 1 week and so rusty.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
well, dramatic, if anything else.
Yeah, I know.
So this one, like this thing comes in like 3 different versions. You can do like the road, you can do adventure, and they made a cyclocross version of it as well.
Now,
if only they did a decent job of showing a, you know, picture of it.
Yeah.
I believe that middle one is the like adventure version.
Right.
Of course it is, because it's got light brown bar tape.
Yeah. Well, obviously, yeah. So is this on the Focus ethos of the rear hub drive, where it's just like the kind of consistent, like extra 100 or so watts? Are all their bikes like that? Or
no, I think this one is actually like it literally is in the bottom bracket area. It's their own motor. The down tube is the battery. It's just like pops out. It's too bad you can't actually, like, you know, look at a not silhouette. I know you can, because this bike was at Sea Otter like 2 years ago when it was just go to like Google Images. What are we even doing here right now?
Right.
So I have seen this motor. So this I did see. It was last year. I think it was at Eurobike. I saw their video on it. So yeah, if you take the battery out, it's supposed to be like a zero drag system. So they give you like a dummy battery to where the system only adds, I want to say, was it 3.5 or something pounds? Yeah, this is it. Yeah. So it's basically like, it's like adding, I think, around 100 to 200 watts, depending on the like setting you have it on, which is, I believe, integrated in the top tube or down tube. Like you hit a button and you put it on, like, you know, red, yellow, blue, or whatever the color is. So it's basically, I think this is super cool, because essentially it's like, if you're a newer rider and you're trying to keep up with your buddies and they are, you know, more fit, let's put that in quotes, you just put that thing into whatever mode, and it's just like adding power to what you're putting out.
Yes.
So it's a little simplified, but it is a lighter system. The mid drive they did with this, I think, is cool, because that's going to be torque sensing and a lot faster response. Because if anybody's ever ridden a rear hub drive e-bike, they're very laggy, and to a fault when you're trying to be like technical with the bike. Because like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like especially during the city, like I was riding one and I was trying to do like a tight left, and I had to hop on the sidewalk to like get across the street or something like that. And it like bucked. Yeah, like it bucked. And I was like, oh God, and I like slammed on the brakes, and I was like, because it senses where your feet are at, not like the torque that you're putting down. Yeah. So it's like, oh, you're moving? It's like you know, so, yeah. So this is cool, but this system supposedly is supposed to, very little drag, and they give you a faux like shield to, you know, if you're not using it. If you want to
ride it with no battery.
Right. This definitely does look better than the Canyon.
It's like it is wholeheartedly better in every way. So that's the cyclocross version. Like when I thought that I could create a
we're getting there. Wait for it.
What's the kind of motion that doesn't need power to keep going? Perpetual. I was like, I'm going to put a dynamo hub on one of these Focuses, and then that's going to be my motorcycle because my dynamo will charge my battery. And then I just looked at the first page of the laws of physics and learned that that's not possible. But like this, like
damn, that would have been awesome. That would have been you had the first bike with you'd have brake regen in your oh my god, that'd be so I'd watch that. Like
But and this thing, I remember it being not I mean, I haven't looked at it in a year probably, but I remember it being a more reasonable price than I had expected it to be.
Right.
Like it wasn't like 10 grand, it was like 3. And I was like, oh
really?
Like, why is this so cheap? Like it was like, it was reasonable. And I don't, how much is that Canyon? Like the Canyon's ugly. And
4 or something. It's 4 something, I believe, for this. I don't know if that's starting price. I'm assuming because there's no way the E-Tap bike is 4. No, I like the Focus. I like their road bike too, because it's the same ethos. It's just like, hey, you just want a little bit of help. Cool. That's I get it. Yeah. So I think there's 2 camps for this, and I like that there's a variety. Yeah. And I liked my Focus when I had it. RIP Performance Bicycles, but I was there when they sold Focus for like that 1 year. It was dope.
Yeah, so Cervelo Canyon Canyon e-bike. Kind of a pass, sounds like.
Lamian.
But look,
Wow.
they make their own fenders for it though. Does the Focus have fender mounts?
I would say it does.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I would say if you put fenders on the Focus, that it would 100% look better than what that is.
Well, the front fender mounts actually from the bottom, the basement of the bar. That's how it mounts for the front fender. Yeah,
it just flops around in the wind.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got almost 100 people in the room. Yay! Woo! If you guys are doing the show so far, give it a thumbs up. All that good stuff. It helps us bring in all that ACN money.
Right. Subscribe, or I will send you one of these Canyons, and you're not going to like it.
Subscribe, or Eric will put your head through between the 2 hover bars. That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Advent or Microshift, big fans of, because they create kind of really functional, practical drivetrains for not a whole lot of money. They've expanded their 9-speed drivetrain. It's not called the Advent X. It's Advent, just plain Advent 9-speed. But they now offer an 11 to 46 tooth cassette that will work with their pre-existing derailleur. And apparently also you can use it with their Advent drop bar shifter. So if you want kind of a mulletish setup in 9 speeds, you can have it. And it's
for
not
like
a whole
lot of money. Yeah.
No, it's like $40 for the cassette. I'm kind of curious to see how much it weighs.
Crazy.
Yeah. Like if it's gonna, like, my benchmark for too heavy of a cassette is like the Sunrace 11 to 46. I like it, but it's like it.
That's like what, 500-ish grams?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
So if it weighs less than that for $40, go buy it.
That's like a does it suck spin dat video comparison.
Yeah.
There
Well,
you go.
no, Eric, you did it. I remember you did a video and you like got some AliExpress cassette. Was that 1142 or was it 1146?
It was 1142.
Okay.
And that cassette failed me so unbelievably epically at a mountain bike marathon race. Like I could, that feeling when one of your cogs rips in half and bends over 2 other cogs, and
so it shifts better. It shifts better. Yeah, it's automatic shifting.
It shifts like this. You get to that cog, and then it throws the chain down to the 11, and you're like, "What is going on?" And then you finally see where it's folded over, and you go, "Oh, I guess I'm not doing the last lap."
I guess.
Yeah, that.
I want to.
feeling.
I want to say what is it? Oh yeah, it's an 1142. The state bike 1142 that came with. I want to say that thing is like 550, 600. I weighed it. It was a lot.
I bet that's heavy. I bet that wheel set is like
the wheel set was over 2,000 grams, I think, or right at 2,000, something like that.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. But I mean, that bike that is also coming review. Also, Eric, you'll enjoy this. My video, I'm hoping it's going to be done next week, if not the week after. Is the ghettoest of tubeless setups I've ever done in my entire life, and it's fantastic. It is Gorilla tape that I cut too narrow, that I just layered, put one did one layer to the left and one layer to the right.
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
then I first ride out on the state bike. Obviously, I had tubes in it. Got a flat. Rode it 5 miles. Got a flat. It's fine. And then I just cut that tube up and took my razor blade and cut the valve out of it.
Yes.
Oh, it's great. Oh my god,
that's all you need to do.
I was like, I thought of you, Eric. I was like, I get it now. I totally get it. I was like, and I texted all my friends. I'm like, yeah, dude, this totally works. It held air overnight, man. I'm never going back.
It'll hold air forever. But then the best part is when you do go back and you're like, wow, everything I've been doing is garbage.
It's so much easier. It's so much easier. Hang on, I'm gonna go grab the tape. It's amazing. Hang on.
All right, I'm gonna eat this chip then.
All right. I'm gonna scroll this webpage because I can.
Look at this.
So if you guys, oh dang.
Yeah, that's way too narrow.
No, they're 19 mil internal, okay, so it's fine. But this $5 roll of tape, this has been 3 out of 4 wheels.
Oh dang.
And I still have
you can get forever.
It's insane.
Out of,
this was $4.95 at Home Depot. And I'm gonna do
way better value than the stands tape. That's
oh my god! And you know what? It actually sticks. It's kind of nice. Yeah, my gold standard for tape is the giant tape, which is the 3M, which I believe Easton ships with. It's this clear brown. That stuff you need one layer, and it's amazing. 100% recommend that. Second best to that.
So this stuff. So have you pulled a tire off of something that's Gorilla taped yet?
Yes.
And it
insanely hard.
Yeah, but it also there's times where actually some of the glue from the tape will actually grab the tire and hold it on super tight. But there are times where I've had the tape just fold as I push it off the bead.
Sure. Yeah.
That's a little bit annoying, but at the same time, you're right. It's a $6 roll of Gorilla tape.
Yeah.
So
I can do 12 wheels.
You take that old tape off.
Yeah.
You put new stuff on, and you put the tire back on.
And if this works out, it's kind of already cut. I can just keep going. And it's because Russ, your video of what you need, the Tubeless Essentials video. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm going to do a really cheap and dirty version of this. And I was like, I'm just going to try it. All right. What can I do for no money? I almost wanted to make my own sealant, but I was like, I'm not going to go that far. The Elmer's glue and water and glitter or something like that.
I'm scared to try that myself.
Yeah. I'm okay, I'll spend $10. It's fine.
Yeah. Sealant is actually pretty good these days. There's no point in trying to make
you don't have to make your own.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you guys have any other thoughts on the Advent 9-speed 11-46?
I just love how often Microshift has been in large publications lately.
Yes. Yeah, the last year they've been, huge moves. Huge.
Yeah. And I want them to just be friends with us so that we can just continue to praise them. We will continue to anyway, but I think you put it the best way, Russ, is they're the scrappy underdog, and it's just I just want them to be up on that pedestal, and then I'll begin to hate them then. But right now,
once they come out with an electronic group set,
I know.
Be what happened to you, man? You changed. You used to be on every TT bike. Now you're not.
I just would love for them to I know this is obviously a lot more difficult than that, but if we could just say stuff and they would just do it, oh, can you make this work together? And they would, things would happen. That's what we need, the weird stuff that people may or may not want, but I'd like some one-off weird. Yeah, but right. It's just I want this and this to work together. They could be, and if they were that innovator of making the weird stuff that we all like, I mean, that's a new niche, you know, that they haven't tapped yet.
I can't help but feel like that's going to be something that they would venture into eventually. Like I would say, like they'll be like, okay, we've got a little bit of money in a bank account here. Let's do some R&D to try and make some cool.
They could do an ACN drivetrain.
There it is.
You know?
It's like it's a single cog in the rear and 12 speeds in the front. That's what it is. 12 chain rings. Yeah.
Very alternative.
Let's say having used the Advent X and the box components 9-speed, I'm going to give it to Microshift. Like I was not
really
impressed. I was not impressed with the box. Granted, I didn't splash out and get the level 1. I just got the mid tier, but it was like stiff as heck. And I mean, the rear cassette was weighed a ass ton. I think it weighed more than the Sunrays.
Even with the thumb
even when, oh yeah, like the amount of force compared to just even and some level SRAM mountain bike shifters, it was considerably more, like three to four times more.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to buy the top of anything to get smooth, like decent shifting.
Yeah,
it would just I think most levels, even the lowest level of both Shimano and SRAM, shift very nice. I haven't ridden a Microshift group in a very, very long time, but they've always been fine. But like stiff usually means something's like broken in my mind, like something's seized in the shifter, or like there's a bunch of rust on pivot points in the derailleur or something.
Do you think it's just because do you think the clutch was too strong?
Clutch is too strong. It's not adjustable in level 2. You have to get the more expensive one, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah. No, so that leads me into like the group set on the Sensa state group set on the all road. Thing shifts really good, like surprisingly light. Like it's like I'm a SRAM guy, but I've ridden Shimano at all levels as well. But like there's some quirks with it that I'm figuring out that I'm going to mention, because I'm going to do a separate review just for the group set, because it was something I honestly wanted to try, and then they debuted this bike and I have it now, so I get to try it out. But like it's just like the action on it, like just there's a little bit of lever play, but all kind of Shimano's like that. But it shifts like really easy. Like it's like very light to the, like it's not bad. Like it's crazy how these smaller companies now are trying to innovate. And these like the bigger guys, the SRAM and Shimano's, are really kind of they are kind of stagnant, which I get because they're kind of set in their ways. But I like this kind of stuff where it's just like, you know what? In my mind, like 9-speed for mountain makes sense because you're just clacking through gears. I'm never on my gravel bike, same thing. Like I'm not 1-to-1. I'm slamming gears either direction to where your gear gaps are not a big deal,
Yeah. I think it's less of an issue in definitely unpaved situations. A little bit more of an issue on just like a pure road bike where the grades are
and the cadence.
Subtle.
You just want that spot where your legs are like, you're like, they're doing something, and we're going to speed at like. But especially if you're going to be doing like monster miles, you want to be able to, you want to be able to do that 100K and feel like you can do another 2,
right?
Like And it
I don't know
nice
what kilometers are, but
those gear choices. You're a cyclist. You're supposed to know what kilometers are.
I don't know.
It's even in
the
like
rules.
I only know kilometers when I do a metric century, and I can call it a century. That's what I like. Yeah.
Terrible. You're both awful.
All right, we're gonna close it out with one final blingy thing. So Chatterley, I actually got a chance to meet them at a Philly Bike Expo. They're a kind of heritage British brand. They came out with a really nice artisanal pedal, if that's your thing. And now they are venturing into crank sets. So this is what it looks like. Very shiny. You can get it both in 1x, but also as a compact, subcompact. So 4630, interesting 3-bolt.
Oh, no, it's not variable. Okay, yeah.
No.
Sorry.
I don't know if there's anyone else that makes chain rings in this BCD.
Not in 3-bolt.
Well, I mean,
concrete balls.
maybe they do. They're like old school.
Yeah, maybe like the Rainiers.
Cassettes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think they're definitely beautiful. The price does give one pause because I believe, I mean, it's 100% UK made, so there's
Okay.
that. But complete crankset will start at £600.
Ooh,
That's like
that's like 4
Canadian.
of Eric's bikes. Yeah.
Billion with a B.
A billion with a B.
And
You could,
still a
yeah.
lot of money in US money also. So
A million.
not-
with an N.
yeah, not inexpensive. Square taper, which is,
Square taper. I'm cool with square taper.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
square taper.
But I'm not cool with-
words.
But I'm not like a real retro like grouch.
Yeah.
Like I like modern stuff. I like old frames, but I don't like old parts. Like I don't like old parts at all. Like I so like this does nothing for me. Like the touring world also does nothing for me. I think that's why I got gravitated so much towards like the adventure like bike packing thing, 'cause it was so new school and the bikes were so fast looking and neat looking.
Yeah.
Like this reminds me of like a Cottard crank that would like come into the shop and someone's like,
Like an old Peugeot.
what's wrong with this? And I'm like, everything. Like everything is, and I don't want to touch it, but I'm going to. And then the price,
So
and then the price is the price again. Yeah.
600-pound Cottard crank.
Yeah.
I mean, I could definitely, I don't know who this is for. I mean, well, clearly if you had a lot of money and you're building a show bike, probably not the most utilitarian.
No.
Wouldn't be my first option. I mean, once we start making serious ACN money, then I'd probably come back to it.
Yeah, but I would still buy White Industries cranks before these.
Oh yeah, like the variable BCD is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then again, I would buy the Cane Creek EE wings twice before I'd buy these.
Yeah.
And that's saying something.
Oh, and and then they have to come out with like the ones that match my bike beautifully, the like titanium like rainbow like flared like
like,
oh god.
You're like,
no,
yes,
I
do
can't.
want those $1,200 cranks.
Oh yes, all day. Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
So
there is somebody who had like a sealant. I saw it for a second. Somebody had a sealant recipe that sounded amazing and also like the worst. But oh man, where is it?
It's like boogers. And
yeah. It was like
cough on it.
it was like Pepto Bismol and what is it? So okay,
Sealant.
contact cement. That's what. Latex paint and glitter. Oh man, like I'm so tempted to like make this.
Oh.
Like I was just thinking like Elmer's glue, water, and glitter. Like I thought that was pretty standard, but this is like next level. Worked great until it glued itself to the truck of my bed of my truck.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you have to peel it off.
Yeah,
That tire. I mean, it's just new school tubular. That's all.
it's sealed though.
Yeah.
Itself
Sealed.
to the floor. Yeah,
Sealed forever.
yeah.
Nice.
Oh, build a cat. Oh man. He comments
one
on
smart
all our
cat
stuff.
for
Build a cat.
All right. So if you guys have any last minute questions in the YouTube chat here, let us type away, amuse us, let us know where you're watching from. Otherwise, we shall wrap it up. I think we did a good job this week at staying on track and not going off the rails. Except for
tried so hard to get us off track, and you guys brought me right back.
Well,
except for my
the Adventure Cycling Network always lands hard on the real topics. Yeah.
Right.
And unfortunately, everybody, again, hopefully you finish your drink because Eric did not lag last week because he didn't lag this week. So please make your suggestions in the comments of what the new drinking game based on Eric's internet connection could be.
So Eric should let everyone know how you have such stable internet this week until he's fake freezing.
I'm using.
I hope everyone had a drink for that.
I'm using my iPhone instead of my laptop today. So everything is very tiny, and that's why you see me pointing so much, because literally
no drops,
no lag.
Like,
and I think the picture quality is probably better.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is-
yeah. It is.
So I think I'll do it.
No, it's
like,
substantially better.
yeah. So I think I'll do it like this probably from now, and we'll see how hot this is. Not that hot. Not that hot.
not going to catch on fire.
If it does,
Well.
there's actually a bucket of water over there that I will throw it into.
Cool. Do you guys have any sneak peeks into what you guys are going to be having on your channels next week? Anything that you're working on that people should stay tuned to?
Yeah, for me, the tubeless for the cheap, like littlest amount of money possible, is going to be up. There is, you know what? If anybody's watched it at this point, I'm just going to say it. So there's a very big, most likely chance I will be a full-time YouTuber soon. Not by choice, based on job things. So I will be making a lot of videos potentially very soon. So please subscribe. Your boy, I'm trying not to be homeless. So yeah, so please subscribe. Link may or may not be in the description. If it isn't, damn it, Russ. So yeah,
It's in there.
But yeah, so there's gonna be a lot of things I have in the works. There's a few videos I have that I'm waiting on because I have stuff to do and I want to do a bike packing, like camping trip, but all of the state parks in California are kind of closed. So I may or may not do like a stealth camping trip, hoping that the state ranger doesn't come by. But no,
Right.
things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of if and maybes. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna post it on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, but it's after the fact. They can't come get me. I don't got no license plate on my bike.
No, it makes sense. I get it.
Yeah.
How about you, Eric? Anything else?
You know what? I had like 8 things planned for this week, and they're like still sitting on my calendar for like ideas for like daily videos. I haven't gotten to them.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I actually want to make a video kind of making fun of myself as a traditional cyclist, but at the same time talking about how much I hate the new what company is that, FLK or whatever, that stupid baby maker e-bike.
The vegan cyclist did a video on that with his wife, right? The baby maker thing.
Yeah, like it's called the baby maker. It's terrible.
Yeah.
I hate the name. I hate the marketing. I hate everything about it. And I also hate the fact that it like raised, $2 million or $3 million, and that these guys know how to sell bikes to people who aren't into bicycles.
Look at that. Okay,
it's terrible.
Okay.
And I hate everything about it.
You mean you didn't like the girl in like her like yoga shorts and like
short shorts, like
short shorts, just like pedaling down the street?
I think that's a,
fist bumps.
Yeah,
Fist bump.
Well,
and they're like wildly successed, and I want it to fail unbelievably bad.
Why is it called the baby maker?
Because it looks so good.
Yeah. Isn't that awful?
kidding,
I'm not wrong. No, I'm pretty sure I'm spot on with the marketing. Pretty sure that's what it says because I've seen the ads a ton, like half a dozen times on
they were
videos.
when their Indiegogo or whatever was live, they were like pumping them out, and like obviously they try to catch your attention with this, like she's a very good looking girl who gets on the bike and whatever, scantily clad. I guess sex sells, and they're like, we called this bike the baby maker, and like, the bike is obviously too big for her, like but it's a marketing piece.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it worked. And
Eric, we're just jealous because like we don't have 2.4 million in raised ACN money, so that's what it is.
I'm jealous of the money. I am jealous of the money.
Can we start a GoFundMe? Like that?
Wait, holy shit! They raised $13 million.
There you go, 13 million.
Yeah.
What? And
it's
they were
stupid.
trying. Their goal was 20,000. Wow.
Right.
Yeah, 20,000.
Like, oh man, they're like university bros. I dropped out of university, so just keep that in mind.
Hey. All right. What do I have on?
Make fun of that video.
Yeah. So tomorrow, I'm actually gonna be dropping a video on how to iron on patches
This product placement. It's so good.
I know.
Yeah.
So I know. Hey, Lumix camera.
It's like not a face. Can't.
Right. So we had some of these patches made, and they just came in a couple days ago. They've been like messing around with ironing them on like different bike bags. And what's cool about this, it's got the fun hot pink, but this outer blue thread actually glows in the dark. So the lights
it is
off,
true party paint.
Party goes on. Yeah. So I get a ton of questions. People that have bought patches from us. Can you iron them on? And the answer is yes. And there will be a tutorial tomorrow morning with me ironing on the patch for the first time. So learning together. That's the theme. Cool. Well, I think I'm gonna take us home. Thank you, everyone. I think we had over 100 people in the stream for sticking out this long. You guys are champions.
Congratulations.
Hey.
Yeah. Well
be sure to subscribe to Mike's channel, as he will be a full-time YouTuber next week.
Yes, please, please.
And amazingly, Eric, right, didn't freeze once.
Yeah,
Freeze
pretty good.
Hey.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
So everybody is going to be going to bed sober, not hungover tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
Good for you guys. A big day at work. Big day at work.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, and we will see you guys next week. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Although I'm assuming that you have, since you're here this long. But see you all next week. Good night.